One of the biggest mistakes that I see with new traders, that they are super excited with the potential gains, the potential profits, but no one knows what will happen next. No one knows what will be the potential reward. As traders, the only thing we have full control of is our risk management. Protect our downside. How much am I willing to lose on each and every trade? How many trades can I handle simultaneously? Handle in the same time. 3 trades, 4 trades, 10 trades, maybe only 1 trade. Perfectly fine. Find your balance. If you are having a losing streak, then reduce the amount of money that you are willing to lose on each and every trade. For example, from 50, reduce it to 20. Reduce the amount of trades that you are taking simultaneously. Let's say from 5, reduce it to 2, reduce it to 1. Then, once you rebuild your confidence in yourself, in your strategy, then you can start slowly raise the amount of trades, raise the amount of money that you're willing to lose each and every trade. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI'S here, Thailand, Koh Phangan, another sunny day. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. Span the daily, Doji, not much of a price action. 454 now is the support. Below it, we are heading towards this white trend line that needs to hold as support. This white trend line goes all the way back to December 2022 as resistance. Now a few days back, broke to the upside. Now price will, with high probability, retest it as support together with maybe the 448, and then next leg up towards 460, 470, and 480, breaking below the 448, and we are heading towards the 442. More than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. It's a matter of time. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. QQQ trend lines from resistance. Once again, resistance, this area. Doji, let's see if the 381 will hold after Netflix and Tesla going down 8%, 4% after hours post earnings. I'm expecting some kind of a pullback on the Qs. 381 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading towards the 374 to close this gap. IWM with the Doji off the 198 trend line resistance once again. Now 194 needs to hold, otherwise you guessed it, this gap at the 190 will get filled. It's only technical analysis, it's not rocket science. You can be the best tech analysis in the world. It doesn't matter what strategy you're using. If you are lacking the mental resilience, no strategy will help you. Dow Jones, Doji, we have a gap to the downside. Maybe tomorrow this gap will get filled, retesting the 345. Next leg up towards 357, and then all-time highs breaking below the 345. This gap will get filled. We can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Now we have the 348, 349 to the downside, below it 346, and then this gap, continuation above 352, 357, and 363. Bitcoin, 28 days and counting in the same tight price action, price range, very tight, breaking below this one. Bears will take full control towards the 27, in my opinion. Bulls have to break above the 31,500, and then maybe the bears will give up. We are heading towards 36 and maybe also 46. Always prepare for both sides. We have Fibonacci, we have trend lines to help us to manage our risk and help us as our guide for future price action. As you can see, this red trend line holding the higher lows, this white trend line holding the higher highs. Short term, Ethereum uptrend, but price action, price range is very tight. We need a break above the 1980, and then heading towards this white trend line, breaking 2-3 days below this red trend line, and we are heading towards the 1750 and back to the 1620. And of course, it's only my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own due diligence. Never follow blindly anyone on social media, paid, free services. Doesn't matter how many subscribers, how many followers they have. No matter the screenshots they show you. Always do your own due diligence. Oil, another day. Doji, indecision on the crude. We have some kind of a double top over here. 75 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading back to the 73. As you can see, the 73 was a very strong resistance, broke to the upside. Crude oil might retest the 73 as support, breaking down and under. We are heading back to the 70. Long continuation above 77, 78 towards 80, 83, 85. Natural gas still short-term downtrend. This red trend line helps us to identify short-term downtrend. White trend lines, longer-term uptrend. Long continuation above 270 towards the upper white trend line. Until proven otherwise, we are sitting on our hands. And if you're a pattern seeker, pattern trader, you can see that maybe we are forming here some kind of a cup handle, but Fibonacci traders, we don't rely on patterns because patterns are not reliable. All we do is watch price, candlestick analysis, multi-time frames, Fibonacci, and trend lines. Check the links in the description below if you want to take your financial freedom in your own hands. Netflix, 8% to the downside after hours. Now let's see if this purple trend line will hold as support. I'm looking, Fibonacci traders are looking for this purple trend line to hold as support and then fill the gap that will open over here. Tesla, minus 4% after hours. Now, 273 needs to hold, otherwise this gap will get filled and we will be looking for a bounce of this green trend line back to the upside. Tesla is not just another car company. I don't understand much about fundamentals, but in my opinion, Tesla is not just another car company, but it's only my opinion. Do your own due diligence. Apple, perfect example of why trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. As you can see, this white trend line doesn't give up. Apple tried intraday new all-time highs, and trend line pulled price back below it. Now let's see if 191 needs to hold. Otherwise, we have a slight gap over here. Let's mark it. Below it, 189 together with this blue trend line needs to hold. And then back up, next leg up towards, once again, 194 and white trend line. Let me know what you think about Apple, where Apple is heading. For now, uptrend until proven otherwise. There is no such thing overbought or oversold. It can always go up much further and it can always go down. Always prepare for both sides. AMD still inside this uptrend short-term, very short-term uptrend channel. As you can see, trend lines hold as resistance. This trend line hold the support below this trend line over here, below the 112, and we are heading towards 94. Meta doesn't care about nothing. And finally, this gap from February 3rd, ladies and gentlemen, this gap is filled. As we said in the past few weeks, in the past few months, follow the road, follow the map, trend lines are the true support resistance, but they are also the roadmap for future price action. And since the 230 we said, until proven otherwise, Meta is heading towards the gap at the 316. You are more than welcome to check Twitter. You are more than welcome to go back and check previous videos in the past few weeks or so. And now some kind of a pullback towards the 298 and maybe all the way towards this white trend line, because usually once gaps are filled, retracement is happening. Shopify, another day, another doji, 68 is holding. Let's see continuation towards the 71. Above 71, we are heading towards this purple trend line. But Shopify, let's clean the chart. Let's see where Shopify is heading. We take trend lines, and as you can see, if we take trend line from this point, from this low to this low, now look left. This trend line support, it was resistance. It's not magic, it's technical analysis. If you want to learn the in-depth relationship between price action, pure price action, candlestick analysis, and trend lines, and how to figure out where price might be heading next, check the links in the description below. Now we can take copy paste. Now this trend line also resistance over here. So basically Shopify between two white trend lines. Now we can take also Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and now we have all the support to the downside and all future resistance to the upside. Riot, another day, another doji, nothing much. Cannot expect much because Bitcoin basically is not moving. 18 support, 2060 resistance. Microsoft inside day, 351 to the downside, 362 to the upside. Let's see if Microsoft can break above this white trend line before earnings, 6 more days to earnings, or we will stay in this range, 343 and 362. AMD, nothing much, moving sideways, 131 to the downside, 136, 137 to the upside. Long continuation above it. We have all the levels to the upside as future resistance. Pullback below 131 to the downside. We have all future support. Downside, Nvidia moving sideways inside day, 4 consecutive dojis, 488 to the upside, long continuation above it towards 560. This green trend line holding as support. Google breaking down as expected. We might get retesting this white trend line from resistance. This white trend line will become support together with the 118. Below it, this gap will get filled. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget to check the links in the description below to find your own path for financial freedom. Until the next video, stay safe.